General Bakshi, you know, now as we stand today, Russia seems to be ramping up. It is going up on the escalation ladder because possibly it has not seen the kind of success that it was expecting. Now everything is fair game for Russia, more strikes in civilian areas. How long do you think Ukrainians would be able to hold on?
Look, as a military analyst, it is my job to talk of facts and separate facts from fiction, maskarovika, informatsia, and information operations from the other side. While we are all hypnotically fixated on the fate of Kyiv and Kharkiv, Kharkiv, by the way, the Russians are claiming, has already fallen, right? There are visual evidence to that effect. The Russians, while we were fixated in the north, have made very rapid advances using maneuver warfare in the south. They have, if I might tell you, taken the city of Kherson and Melitopol, right? They have cut off the entire Black Sea coast and the Sea of Azov from the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians have lost their access to the sea. They have surrounded the port cities of Mariupol. They have surrounded the port city of Odessa, and from there it is being speculated they could come northwards towards Kyiv. Can I please, sir, I didn't disturb you. Give me that courtesy. Give me that courtesy. Yeah, thank you. You know, so as I was saying, they are planning to, there is one speculation that they will advance along the Dnieper River to Kyiv to cut off the entire eastern portion of Ukraine. They have already affected a land link with Donbass, to get a secure land corridor for Crimea. The water blockage which the Ukrainians had done with the dam, they have blown up that dam. Right. Now Kharkiv has fallen. The Russians in the first phase went by the Russian Chief of General Staff's doctrine of trying to go by hybrid warfare. They expected, like in 2014, the Ukrainians would surrender. They were wrong. So the Russians have just ramped up their operations.
That's right.
They are surrounding cities, going back to standard Russian tactics of surrounding enemy cities, asking the civilian population to get out, bombarding with their artillery, multi-barrel rocket launchers, fighter bombers, and then going in with tanks. They have done it in Kharkiv. They are likely to do it next in Kyiv. When we had war game this situation, Indian Military Review, we had said it would take 7 to 10 days. It's 8 days now. I reckon 2 to 3 days more as a military analyst, and
2 to 3 more days as far as the spirited resistance that Ukrainians have put up. But, you know, Professor Blackson, I just want to understand from you, today when the talks take place, when both sides sit, you know, on across each other to try and resolve this crisis, try and open that channel where possibly violence could be dialed down, who has an upper hand? Because so far, both the sides have tried to hold on to their ground, and since Kyiv has not fallen yet, can Russians, in fact, bulldoze their way through as far as these talks are concerned?
You know, it's a great question. I think it's useful to look at the historical parallel with the Soviet invasion of Finland in 1939. There, the initial thrust was blunted, it was halting, it was problematic. The Finnish forces, defense forces, were able to blunt the Soviet attack, but then they came back, the Finns came back with a vengeance. The Soviets came back with much more force in the second wave and were able to push right into Finland, and eventually they came up with a peace agreement that wasn't quite what the Soviets wanted, and it wasn't quite what Finland wanted, but it was a compromise. And my sense is that this is what the future holds for Ukraine. The Russians have already, as our good my colleague has pointed out, made huge inroads in terms of the Donbass region, around Crimea, the Sea of Azov, up to Mariupol, and across to Odessa. So they have taken much of the coastal land. They've got the land bridge, it appears, from Crimea across to Donbass. So, and the main other thing, of course, is to get a capitulation from Kyiv, and that doesn't look like it's happening straight away. That's more problematic and leaves room for a compromise, and I think that's where the hope is, that there will be a compromise.
All right, and possibly just not the Ukrainians, the entire world is hoping that there is some sort of a compromise and this violence ends. I request all my three guests to stay on with me. Let's just take a very quick break at this moment. Our coverage of this entire crisis continues after a short break. Stay tuned.